Imagine waking up one morning, and everything you've worked for is gone. Your money, worthless. Your job, vanished. Your future, uncertain. This was reality for millions during the Great Depression. Bread lines stretched for blocks, filled with desperate souls who once believed in the promise of tomorrow. The stock market, once a symbol of prosperity, lay in ruins, a stark reminder of the fragility of dreams. Amidst the despair, a different breed emerged. They weren't immune to the hardships, but they possessed a certain grit, a resilience that allowed them not just to survive, but to thrive. These lessons weren't taught in classrooms or boardrooms. And today we dust off these forgotten truths, these timeless principles, for they hold the key to navigating not just financial storms, but the very essence of prosperity itself. The Great Depression wasn't just an economic collapse, it was a psychological earthquake. It shook the foundations of society, tested the limits of human endurance, and exposed the vulnerabilities of a system built on shaky ground. But out of that chaos, some people didn't just survive. They thrived. They came out wiser, tougher, and yes, wealthier. These weren't titans of industry born with silver spoons. They were everyday people, farmers, teachers, shopkeepers. They knew that while fortunes could vanish overnight, the values of hard work, thrift, and ingenuity were the true cornerstones of lasting prosperity. Because the lessons they learned, the principles they embraced, remain as relevant and powerful as ever. The generation forged in the fires of the Depression carried with them an almost sacred reverence for money. They had seen firsthand the devastation wrought by its absence, the desperation that gripped those who had lived beyond their means. Frugality wasn't a trendy lifestyle choice for them. It was a way of life, a shield against uncertainty. They didn't just save money, they respected it. They understood its power, but also its fickle nature. Credit cards? We didn't believe in magic money. Debt was seen not as a tool, but as a trap. They bought what they needed, not what they wanted, and found joy in the simple things. The satisfaction of a life lived within their means. The Depression taught survivors the danger of relying on a single source of income. They saw their neighbors, friends, and family members lose their jobs, their livelihoods snatched away in an instant. They became masters of diversification, long before it became a buzzword in the financial world. A seamstress became a baker, selling her wares to neighbors. A teacher raised chickens, trading eggs for other necessities. This wasn't about getting rich quick. It was about creating a life of sustainable abundance. It was about taking control of their own destiny. In the darkest depths of the Depression, when fear gripped the hearts of men, a select few saw not despair but opportunity. While others were selling their stocks for pennies on the dollar, they were buying. When land lay fallow, unwanted, and seemingly worthless, they were acquiring. They recognized that in the midst of chaos, when the herd was driven by panic, true value could be found. They had the foresight to see beyond the immediate crisis. This wasn't blind faith, but calculated risk. They kept their heads when others were losing theirs, and in doing so, positioned themselves to reap the rewards when the storm finally passed. Those who emerged from the Depression with their spirits intact, often their fortunes enhanced, weren't necessarily the strongest, the smartest, or even the luckiest. They were the most adaptable. When factories closed, they learned new trades. When cities emptied, they packed their meager belongings and migrated to where opportunity beckoned. They embraced change, not as a threat but as a challenge, an invitation to reinvent themselves. They understood that the only constant in life was change itself. The generation tempered by the Great Depression didn't chase get-rich-quick schemes or pin their hopes on overnight fortunes. They had seen the folly of speculation, the ephemeral nature of easy money. They understood that true wealth, lasting wealth, was built slowly, methodically, brick by brick. They embraced the concept of delayed gratification, finding satisfaction in the steady pursuit of their goals. They thought in decades, not days, planting trees whose shade they might never enjoy. Their legacy wasn't measured in material possessions, but in the enduring power of their example. The echoes of the Great Depression may have faded into the mists of time, but the lessons learned during that tumultuous era resonate with a power that transcends generations. Those who endured those challenging times didn't just leave us with a blueprint for navigating financial hardship. The truth is, wealth is less about numbers, and more about mindset. It's about cultivating the habits of mind, the internal compass, that allows you to navigate the inevitable storms of life. The Great Depression survivors didn't just leave us lessons in finance. In every crisis, a question is whispered: will you panic, or will you prepare? The stories of those who weathered the Great Depression are more than just tales from a bygone era. They're timeless reminders that within each of us resides the potential for extraordinary resilience. Their legacy lives on, not in dusty history books, but in the hearts and minds of those who dare to learn from the past. If you found value in these timeless lessons, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep these conversations going, because by sharing these stories, we honor the past and illuminate the path to a more prosperous future.